Hey guys, how's it going? Jason here again. So we're back with MG, and last time we got this castle rail in, got this inner sill patched up, got all the rock cut out. But we're not going to touch that this time because I don't want to do anything to this until I have a new door on, so I can put the outer sill on and the diaphragm and everything. So this week we're not going to touch that. I'm going to focus my attention on this rear quarter panel, and I think we're just going to cut it out and work from there, I think. But yeah, let's get started. Well, I have it mounted on the tripod again because I'm doing a lot of the wiggling about when I'm carrying the camera about. Sometimes it's the only way to do it. But yes, this kit is cut out and get a new panel made. You see, I have these cut out. But what I want to do first of all is pretty much have this whole panel. I know it's a bit flared out here and stuff, but if I can get this panel cut out to a certain size, it might be a bit easier to put back in again. Because this is the one I sort of made before, and it's not a million miles off. It is over there, obviously, but like that line isn't the straightest line to begin with. If you stand here looking at it, it's not like you would be proud of that. So I'm thinking if I take this off, we'll flip it around, mock it up to these here, see how bad it actually is. It's pretty good. We'll give it a wee fettling and then try making a new one. Just get a grinder before we start any cutting. Go around this like this, so we have some sort of shape to follow. Also read that it's better not to cut a right tight square because it always wants to, like, the heat always forms in the corner. So if you do a big round curve, it's meant to help it better. How true that is, I don't know, but we'll just do this bit for now. Oh my. You can see here my scrap steel box is getting very, very full here. I have to get a bigger box. My idea is to make this panel here first and then put a wee step on the back of that so that it steps it out, and we can then work from that to do this bit and this bit. But yeah, I'm quite happy with this, how this is going to work. I said I could buy a quarter panel, but why would you buy something when you can make it for 3 times the amount of time? 20 times maybe? Like, if I was to buy one, all I got to cut it out, weld it in. To make one, it's a wee bit more involved. But sure, it's fine, it's okay. It's okay. It really is, it's fine. Alright, so we have our box here anyway. Let's bring you over to the bench. Well, you can see here we're over this wee bench now, and this is the one I cut off, and this is the one we've previously made. And when you put them up together, it's pretty good, to be honest with you. The only thing I would say is probably that area there, and then we'll just tidy it up a wee bit with a sander. I think it'll be good to go. So I'm going to trim that out now. I'll give it a wee clean up, and then we will try and form a new one of these. I've got this all nice and cleaned up here now, and I'm actually quite happy with it. So I've cut this bit of steel out. It's just a bit of scrap for the minute. I just want to try out to see how this is going to work. So we're going to bring it a wee bit of overlap. Then I have a second one. I'm just going to sit over the top there, like it's not the right one. This one here. Yep. Second one here is going to sit on there like so. Stop the panel moving as much. Or try to anyway. So I'm going to get these clamped together. I'm probably just going to stick a couple of bolts in it. Don't really want to drill through this panel, but I think it's kind of the only way. Maybe if I can put a couple of clamps on here, put a bolt there and there, should be flying. So I'll get those bolt holes drilled now. Here we are then. We're with the bench inside. This one here is cut slightly larger than the other one. So yes, the only thing to do is start hitting it. And we'll just see what happens. So obviously this isn't where it's meant to be and everything. Maybe probably meant to come over a bit more, I think. But like you can see there, that actually is pretty good. There's a couple of wee ripples back here that I think I can work out, but I'm actually really happy with how that's coming out. Yeah, so next thing I want to do is try and get that lip flat up against that seam there. And how we're going to do that there is we're going to hit it with a hammer again. Let's go. Just on the ground then. And kind of too archy for my liking, but well, let's just bring it back over the car and see how we can make it less gross. Now here we are, and that lines up with there pretty well there, right? And this side here, unfortunately I don't have anything to follow off, but if we use this, we can see that we're pretty, there it is there, right? So I think it's going to be okay. So if I drew around that line there, it's obviously it's going to need a skin filler, so we can sort of tidy it up with the filler. Once this is welded on, I can hammer this lip round and get it perfectly. But that's what we're left with, and I'm going to cut round here now, and we'll use that stepper tool again, step this to bring it out to the shoot. So we have to use slightly less filler, and I think we'll get it mocked up. I'm not going to weld it in just yet because I need to fix this inner. I don't know how far up that inner needs fixed yet. I might even have to cut out here and then put a patch in there as well. But once we get this bit done and this bit done, we can then move on to this mess over here. Because I'm not really sure what is actually going on here, because I can see lots and lots and lots of filler in there. So we're probably going to have to cut that in our way and then chop this out. But I'm going to get this cut now and I'll step it and then we'll see what it looks like. But yes, see where it's kind of ripply there, but I can fix that. I can fix that really good. In fact, it wouldn't take very much to fix it. Right, see you in a minute. Right, that's what it looks like in. I'm not happy with this bit here, but I think once I get that welded in, I can manipulate it to the shape I want. on that side, and on this side, actually I'm really happy with it as much as possible. But we've got two lips there anyway, and we're going to put that on there. And yeah, let's just get this done, boy. Well, we're back here again, and you can see that I've cut this out as high as I could. Well, not as high as I could have cut it all out, but I've cut out as much rust as I think, and I think I've got to a point now where it's actually pretty solid steel. I can't actually get in there and weld that there at a comfortable angle, so I'm just going to leave it for now, and then once we get the car right on side, we'll do that inner arch at the top. But I've cleaned this up now, and I think we're just going to go ahead and get a few spot welds in this, or tack welds, and get it into position where I think it should be, and then it means I can start cutting away at this here, because this here is definitely a bigger issue than this. And if it comes to it and this doesn't look right or something's gone wrong, we'll just buy a set of quarters for it. We've already sank enough money into that. Some more money's not going to really matter that much, is it? But for now we're going to try and salvage what we can. I like the idea of doing this. So I'm going to get this done now, and we're not going to do it fully. Maybe just do like a couple of wee bits here and there just to get it in there, just to hold the shape, so when we come down here we've got something to follow from. Well, that's that in. I know it feels wrong not to fix that inner while I'm here, but as I say, I can't get in there, and I'm not doing it now. So next up is this mess. Now this is going to be good, I think, because I can feel some. Well, let's just cut out this bit from here to here, and we'll see what horrors are hidden behind this. So there we go. Right, so that potentially can go back on again. But now we've got a better view of what's going on here. And it seems like a strange face for it to run away, but what do I know, huh? What do I know? Well, you can see I got carried away again and just kept on cutting because, well, everything's rotten. I took the rear bumper off and we took this panel off then, and you can see where it's been bodged in the past. We then cut, where is it? Anyway, we cut a strip out of this original panel and it was real flimsy, and so I just said, you know what, we'll just take the whole panel out and make the panel. So that is said panel, so we're going to have to make one of these. That'll be fun. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that there. And then in here was all full of like tiger seal or something. It's all up in there as well. Can't get it out, it's so well on. You see over here, this here panel has been welded on in the past as well. Yeah, there we go. See there, it's layers of filler and shade is on that. But yes, the next job we have is, should I patch this up first? or should I patch this? I might make this panel first, so that's a bit more fun. You can see underside as well, someone's put a really bird shitty patch on here, and then I put the die grinder in there and made a hole. So overall this chassis leg isn't too bad, and I'm not too unhappy with this here. Bit annoyed I have to make this panel, so I thought I was going to get away with just continuing on with my quarter panel today, but now we have a side project yet again, and then we need to fix this as well because someone's been in here and patched this up somehow. I don't know if I can actually take that off with the air chisel. There it is. Huh, what a fix. That's loads of tiger seal with a bit of metal in it. Look at that. The joys of old cars, eh? Just because you don't need an MOT doesn't mean it doesn't need to be solid. I think there's so many cars out there that are like this here probably. Like it looks good on the outside, and underneath it all it's just absolute garbage, and because it doesn't need an MOT they're just blasting around. And yeah, but let's get this next area done here. We'll probably make this panel first. I've used a bit of cardboard here to get the shape that I need for this inner pocket. I use that in conjunction with the actual bit of cutout, and now it's time to make the panel. So we cut this out of 1.2mm steel. We actually bought a big sheet of it, so we don't have to spend all that time cleaning panels. So yeah, I'm gonna go at this here with a pair of pump pliers and a pair of vice grips and try and get this lips. I tried to bend that there in the folder, but there wasn't enough of a lip to bend it, so looks like we're gonna have to do everything by hand. So I'm gonna put you in time lapse for that there, because you don't really want to sit here and watch me fold this for half an hour. Okay, so we'll have this sort of panel, and it kind of fits in. I got to modify some bits of it, but let's put this rib in it. There we go, we'll have that. Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to get those edges, but maybe just we'll put it on a bit of wood and we'll just hit that with a chisel. So let's see if I can get these edges. Maybe not that. Well, not perfect, but the rest of the panel isn't perfect. Well, now I have this patch made. I don't want to weld it in just yet, and you're thinking he's not going to start cutting more away, and I am. So I want to work on this lip here, and you can see up in here, I think you got it, and you can see there's actually, you can see the rust and the horrible things that's happened there before. And what I want to do is cut that seam out, and basically I'm going to do it in like say 4-inch sections. I'm going to cut it out, repair it, and then we'll move on to the next bit. So we're not actually cutting too much away, but it means I can get my hands into here and it'll make life a lot easier. So I'm going to start off by just cutting this section here out. Well, I have that taken out now, and the first one I took out actually wasn't that bad. I don't know where I did it, but it was probably usable. But then I was like, oh, I'll just clean up all this here, and then I found over here that there's some sort of patch here. Yeah, so pretty much what I'm going to do is just, I have these wee, I'm going to cut loads of these out, and we're going to put them in there. We're going to weld them in, and then we'll shape it with a grinder, and then just finish it with filler. And that will be that seam completely gone. Because what I feel like, I think water just gets in down there and then it's rusted out. So if it's not there, the water can't get in. Another thing to do, what you could do is just take this top lip off and then seam weld the gap. But I say the reason I'm doing this here is because the underside is crusty. So I feel like just joining this on is probably the nicest option for me. Yeah, so I'm going to get this in there and then we're going to move on to the next one. And I'll probably just come back and show you what this looks like when it's done, because this will just take a while and it's not very interesting. Okay, well, I sort of admit that I've been guilty of some questionable repairs myself in the past, but this is good. So you can see here, this is this patch that I showed you earlier. But this here is all filler. I don't know how far back it goes in there. We'll get this cut out now, and yeah, because I can't weld this bit in because this patch is here, and I can't do this bit because this is here. So we'll just cut this all out and go from there. Well, that's that little area cut out, and we now can see what's going on here. And isn't as much in there as I thought there was going to be, but I'm still. Oh no, wait. Okay, we can fix this. Actually, not as horrendous as I thought it was going to be. We'll clean all that up. I'll make a new patch for in there. I'll sort this out somehow. It is more work that I didn't really know how to do, but that's what a classic car restoration is all about, isn't it? Fixing years and years and years and years and years of people's, just get it through MOTs probably, or make it look good for selling. Right. Well, after I finished recording that last clip last night, I went in the house and had a whiskey, dried my sores a little bit. It's the next day now, and we're clear headed and we're gonna get cracking in. And realistically, this isn't that bad. We've got a bit of surface corrosion in here, we'll clean up. And instead of making this lip and then welding this patch to it, we'll just make one big patch that comes down to here. So, yeah, and then we will use this to get our curve to redo this wee scuttle panel drain thing. Not really sure what it's called. Rain channel, maybe? A rain goes down there and it goes into the body, like it did there. But anyway, so yeah, we use that to get we use that to get that curve and this curve, and this here should be handy enough. And then we'll fully seam weld it up, buff it all down, be ready for a skim of filler. Yeah, so the first thing I'm gonna get in here cleaned up and brush some primer on it because I can get there at the minute, and then we'll start making this patch up. Well, a wee bit more progress here. I've made this patch up, and you can see here that I actually made it a wee bit too small. It was fine until I did my last cut, but I've tried to put most of the heat into this thicker panel and it seems to be okay. So we need to finish that off. There's a couple of wee pinholes in this bit here. So that there is pretty much where we need it to be. We skim a filler with top of that there and make it a lot nicer. There's a bit here that obviously it was just didn't end up the way I wanted to. And you can see here that this is how it's meant to sit, and it looks quite good, all this here. So if I take this off again, we pretty much need to we pretty much need to fill this gap in now, and then we need to get this lip. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to bring this down here and probably end it about here, because I don't think it needs to be under here. And then we'll just make this panel in one piece and seam weld it around the edges. And yeah, that will be that area done. But I didn't put weld through primer in the back of this here, forgot about it. Of course I did, but I'm pretty sure I can take this interior trim off in here and get to the back of that there. And yeah, so I'm gonna start making this panel now, and it should be pretty handy. I'll just use a bit of cardboard as usual, get the rough idea what I will need, and then we'll work from that. Well, I hope you can see what's going on here, but I've made this patch up and I'm going to put that in there like so. And then we'll tack weld this, we'll get this line straight at the back here, and then we'll tack weld it in, and then we'll twist this panel and meet it up to the bottom here. I would like to do this in one piece and have this lip as part of this, but I can't think of a way to do it tidily, so I think I'm just gonna, well, we'll try it. Maybe once I get this welded in, I'll try and hold it and bend that panel over and do a bit of panel beating. But I feel like that's not going to work very well, so I'm probably going to end up cutting this off level here and then just getting another bit of metal and the same size as this here, and just butt weld it onto the edge, and that should be pretty good. But yeah, let's get this tack welded in. I'll get the welder turned on first of all. I must say I'm enjoying this little grinder. Okay, that's not bad. It's lined up all the rivets. Mint. Well, I say mint, it's not perfect. Like, there's a dent I put in this, and by the time I've got this leveled out, that'll all sit in there lovely. And we'll have a nice seamless edge. We'll have our rust fixed, and we'll have our rust fixed here. And yeah, awesome. Hey guys, so I've kind of figured out a plan of how I want to go about this area. This here, the plan I've made is probably a little unorthodox. You probably wouldn't do this if you're a professional car restorer, but it's the only way I can think of doing it right now. And I have this patch, and I'm going to put that, I've ground this back down, so when I set that in, it's level with that there, and I can put that patch in there. And pretty good. And then we'll cut this round into the shape we need it to be after we get it welded in. Stop a wee bit of warpage. And then we'll have this patch area here. Remember, this is just like a big gap. Well, it was a bit thin right here, so I made it bigger just to got some solid metal. And I've made this little patch to weld the bolt. I'm going to put that in there like so and weld it in. And that'll be that area done. I've straightened out this wee bit with a screwdriver, got in there. And we'll get that welded up. That'll be pretty good. We'll get this welded up, we'll get here welded up, and then when we're working on the inside, we'll finish off in here, because there's actually, if you look in there, there's a wee hole there, so I imagine I'm going to have to do some repairs, and I want to weld this patch here in from the back, but that'll be way down the line and I'll probably forget about it. And then there'll be a wee bit of a big gap there. We'll have this gap, and then we just need to go over the whole thing and few passes and get all the gaps filled up, and that'll be this top bit done. Actually no, it won't. I need to do this rim as well for all this line, but you get what I mean. I'll put you on time lapse and I'll get this area sorted. Okay. Well, thank God for a die grinder because that didn't look very good there for a while, but I'm pretty happy with that. I need a wee hole there I need to fill, I missed. And yeah, a wee slight skim of filler in there just to finish that off when the time comes, but that's pretty good. Still need to tidy up there. Now we need to seam weld this still, but just want to give you a quick view of that. So I'm quite happy. I am. It's the best of a bad situation, I think. Other than trying to remake everything, this seems to have been pretty effective. I say once we get the car on the ground and we get the interior out, we'll fix that inner seam there, and then we'll just do a seam weld along the inside. Okay, so after I finished that panel last night, I was pretty happy, so I just went in and I've came out tonight, and the first thing I did was just fully seam weld this up. It's just ready for a buff and back now, and I filled this wee patch in here, and you can see how I did it. This is just a bit of scrap steel, and all I did was tack weld that to the wee tiny fillet piece there, and that means I could held it while I welded it in and didn't have to try and hold it from the bottom or anything. So what I'm going to do now is just basically make this piece, and I'm not going to weld it in just yet, but I would like to make it. So we'll get some steel and we'll see what we can do. Well, I have this bit of steel, and this is how I would go about doing this. I would set this on like this and then try and get a decent mark along the back like that. So I'm gonna go cut that out now, and then we will set it on and see how it lines up. Well, there we go, that's cut out now, and it lines up pretty good. Those gaps will be filled with weld, and then we need to cut it here ish around this area. Well, there we go, that sits in there like so. And what I would probably do is actually weld this on first and then cut the length, because you don't want to, it's really hard to do with the camera in the road, but you can imagine that's going to be cut along there. And then once we get to the end here, we will just weld it to here and give it a wee tap with a hammer so it follows this line here, and then cut it and we're done. But we're not going to weld it on yet in case we have to do anything more fettling around here, but we'll have it and it's done. So we'll put that somewhere safe and forget where it is. I'm going to get this buff back now. Just wanted to tell you how I grind back welds. I use a grinding disc like that there and just use the edge of it. It takes it off a lot quicker than a flat wheel and puts less heat into it. Yo! What's the saying? If you can't weld, learn how to grind. Look at that. She's mint. Excuse me. Had a big jack on the screen today. Check them out. We Ginters or Ginters Cars or something like that there. I'll put the link in the description. Anyway, yes, we're on to this area. So what do we got going on here? We have a hole here, a hole here, a hole here, a hole here, and a big hole here. And how are we going to handle that there? Do we cut this out? I don't really want to cut it out. On this one here, I think I've grinded the back and it's solid everywhere, so I think I'm gonna want to put this panel in. I'm gonna plate around here and we'll clean up that a bit more, maybe make that hole a bit bigger, because yeah, the metal's full thickness there, like, so it's not too bad. Maybe this bit's the worst. Interesting. Over here is pretty bad, so I need to make that bigger. But I think we'll get this panel in first, then we'll fondle this. And you see around here is pretty gross, but as I say, I don't want to remove this panel yet until my rear sebring comes, because I don't want to take too much to this out and not have the shape to get back in again. So do we forget about that for the time being? Let's go get the panel. I'm mad. Right, we're back at this rear boot pocket then, and I have a panel and we're going to fit it in here in a certain way where it fits. like that, right? You can see here there's a wee curve up, so we're going to have to shrink that to get that panel to go up. But I think I've been using the wrong word for what I'm doing here. I've been saying restoration, where really I'm recommissioning it, where I'm not replacing every single panel and making it absolutely perfect, but it is going to be pretty good. It's going to be good. Right, it is going to be good, isn't it? Yeah. We'll just say it is. It's definitely more solid than it was. So, where's my marker? So I think from there, right? And I think we'll shrink it just probably and see if we can get that panel to go up. Right, well, shrinker didn't seem to do the job I wanted. I think the panel might be a bit too big for that curve I wanted. I didn't really have a whole lot of lip there to deal with, so I ended up just putting a couple of notches in it, and I got the shape flowing the way I want. So it follows this line now, and to be honest with you, once that's in there, okay, so you can see here this line's actually it's not bad. Like here's just a bit of a gap here. We'll fix this, and yeah, I know this panel looks bad at the minute, but I don't want to cut this away until I get this in, so like I've got something to follow. And now that line does follow that there, we've got actually something to work off. And then here I think might be sticking out a bit too much, but we can adjust that there when we're doing our panel. I don't think a wee bit of an extra flare would do any harm to anybody, but we'll see. I don't want a big ripple in the panel. There's already enough of them. So yeah, I'm gonna get this kind of spot welded in now, and yeah, it's gonna be mint. Well, now I don't really know what to do here. I'll show you what's going on. So I cut out from here up and filled this patch in and filled this bit in, okay? But when I was using the air hammer to get these lips off the top, we unearthed some more rot around here, and I can't take the leaf spring off at the minute because it's on this rollover jig, right? So I can't actually fix this right now. I can fix this, but I can't fix this. So I think I'm gonna leave this bit for now. I'll repair here. I'll cut out down to here. It doesn't matter about this jacking point or this toe and anything. I can notch that out in order to weld to it. I don't really care about it because it's probably never going to be used. Right? And yeah, under here needs a rest as well. But as I say, when we'll have the spring off, hanger off, we can fix this as well. But like the inside is so solid compared to this area here. It's actually mad how good the inside is. But there's obviously a sketchy patch here, so that's hiding something disgusting. But I think we'll fix this now, and I think we're just gonna we'll cut this seam away, come down here, and get that area nice and solid. Cause like realistically, most of this maybe there's a bit, yeah, there's a bit thin. Probably should have came across there. Right. And up there obviously needs repair, but we're going to cut this out at some stage, so we'll make a new panel. In fact, when we cut this out, we'll make a full panel. Maybe we'll just make as much as we can. But I want to get this top panel in, and I don't mind welding to this top panel once it's in, because it's going to be welded to this, so it'll just make it all flow together, I suppose. Might be a bit of a nightmare to remove if you ever have to remove it again, but yeah, I'll fix this bit now. In fact, what time is it? Might just call it quits for the night, you know. Okay guys, then, so I think I'm going to call it quits for this upload. I came out tonight and didn't even turn the camera on until now, but I worked away at this patch here, and basically it's from here up around here, and we filled these wee areas in and made this nice wee filled piece here. And yeah,
that's pretty much it for this one then. What do we get up there then? We did this arch, we did this fillet piece here, or not fillet but big pocket panel. We have found this. I think I've come up a plan for that. Then I'm going to make a stand at a box section. It's going to hold the hub and the axle, and then we'll get some props and hold the shell up so I can take the spring out and we can cut this away and find out what's going on there. But that'll be future time. I'm not really sure when I'm going to do that there. Probably pretty soon. But and then we got this done. Did that front bit, and yeah, that's pretty much it. My doors should arrive tomorrow, so that means next week we'll hopefully be putting these sills in, and that'll be nice to get that done. A bit more progress. I'd like that to be done so I can look at it and go, that's some good shit right there. But yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.